Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. This is something Albin brought to me, so I thought I'll talk to you guys about it, which is the new EV policy in India. And it's some interesting news about the EV policy. It's going to open opportunities for investors who are looking to enter the auto segment in India. Yes, the main thing everyone was hitting on the article is about Tesla and how Tesla can use this window to enter India and set up plants in India, because the incentives are very nice if you're a manufacturer. But as an investor, if you look at it also, there's going to be great opportunities, not only through Tesla, through other companies like VinFast, which also wants to enter India. So as an investor, you should keep an eye on this segment and you should see opportunities in the near future to long term, especially if they decide to open factories in India. So what does this new policy plan to do? It plans to reduce custom duty for these companies to 15% for manufacturers meeting the minimum requirement of investment of 4,150 crores, approximately $500 million for producing four-wheeler electric vehicles in India. So from the approval of your proposal, within 3 years, you should be up and running is what the government is saying. So the investment target domestic value is 25% by the third year and 50% localization by the fifth year. That means by the third year, 25% of your car should be manufactured or components should be from India. And by the fifth year, 50% of your components and whatever you're using to manufacture for your vehicle should be from India. The import condition and incentives are also very nice. It allows you to import four-wheel vehicles valued over $35,000, including freight and insurance and everything put together. They'll levy only 15% duty on it for the first 5 years. And you're allowed to import 8,000 units per year. And possibly, if whatever you don't use in those 8,000 units in the first few years, you can carry on the unutilized to next year or the year following that. So basically, it helps you to put up a plant, put up a proposal, invest money and start setting up the plant. As the plant is setting up, they're allowing you to bring in cars which are your branded cars from another country or another location into India at a lower duty import and start selling. So you start building your brand, so it's basically encouraging you to do everything, right? So this is the main thing. So what is the impact of this? Well, the impact of this is companies like Tesla, which has been searching for new markets and new manufacturing locations, now can start looking at India very seriously. VinFast is already committed to establishing factories in India. They will be using this definitely, the Vietnamese. And currently, not a lot of ancillary car component makers in India are catering to EV-specific components. This is where, as an investor, is where I'll tell you to keep an eye on. Companies like Sona, BLW Forging, and Samavendra Matteson International have already been supplying globally to EV manufacturers. So these guys will have a domestic market to supply to. So these companies are worthwhile looking at because their earnings have an opportunity to grow up. And other component manufacturers in India now will start pivoting and they'll also start creating components for EV because there'll be EV manufacturing happening locally. So this is another opportunity for them to raise their earnings, and also export earnings will also go up because they can also contribute to India's export by sending these components out of India. So as an investor, this is something you can keep an eye on auto component ancillaries, those who specifically are catering to EV and which are planning to start units to catering to EV. You can look at them for the long term or the long haul is what I'm saying. Because none of these returns are going to come in any time short. These are going to take a very long time, in a 10-year plus window is what I'm saying, because you can imagine putting up the plant is 3 years and they're going to slowly build their brand in 5 years' time. Then after that, establish the brand and sell. All of this is minimum 10 years plus. So all small term FIIs and DIIs will not be interested in these companies because simple reason, the projected growth for these guys is going to be 10 years and there's a lot of uncertainty in this for them to be really looking into it. They will not try to price this future growth into it like what they do with Nestle and what they do with ITC or Hindustan Lever. They can't price the earnings into it and raise up the share price into crazy EPs because they do not know the future of this. So you as a person who's looking for an opportunity, who's willing to make small bets, can definitely look at these companies. But do keep in mind, the market is very dynamic. You have people like Ola, which is making inroads in several states already. Then you have Bajaj Auto, Hero Motocorp, and Anther Energy and TVS Motors doing this in two-wheelers. So you can use that as a template to study if you are really interested in looking at this as a four-wheel segment. By studying what has been happening in the two-wheeler segment, this will give you a lot more clarity on what is going to be happening in the four-wheel segment going forward. The implications is, or like I said, on Indian OEM which is going to be many OEMs in India can now bring in four-wheel cars under 35 minimum cutoff and give the existing EV manufacturers like Mahindra and Tata Motors a run for their money. Luxury German brands can also maybe utilizing this to set up a local facility to compete effectively. So to lower their duty cost from 70% to lower to 50%. That is, I'm talking about your German luxury brands are the BMWs, Audi, and the Mercedes-Benz. They could bring lower end cars and try and utilize this $35,000 limit and set up some local facilities. Someone like Mercedes will already have facilities in India which they can retrofit and start showing that as a manufacturing location for these cars and start importing and using this. So it's going to be interesting times even as a consumer. If you're in the auto space and you're looking for opportunities, this is a wonderful time to also keep your eyes open. If you're looking at anything related to auto and ancillary industries, you're doing businesses related to this, or you rely on this industry, these are good times for you in the near future at least. So this is the new implications of the new EV policy from our government, and I think it's going to be interesting what is going to happen. What is not going to be touched is, of course, the top-end market, and introducing these dynamics are not going to have high-end luxury cars. So there's not going to be any shift or any demand movement in that. This is all in the lower segment. And of course, the lower car segment is a much larger car market. And I can understand why there is a push from the manufacturers and the government trying to enter this space. Of course, this also depends on what happens in terms of infrastructure. We require more charging stations. We require more power plants to generate this kind of power, which will be in high demand now if more and more people switch over to electric vehicles. I was talking to Anand about this a few days back, where he was saying, yes, people are talking about this in the media. There has been general push by the manufacturers, but the actual sales are not happening. And if anything, globally, there's a trend for people to not really pick up EV cars at the pace which was hoped for. And Anand felt that the main reason why people are hesitant about EV is it is still a new technology and people want to wait and watch, because in a country like India, a second-hand car has high resale value. That means if I buy a Maruti Suzuki today, brand new, and I've used it for 3 to 4 years, I can sell it at a good price when I need to get rid of it 3 to 4 years from now. And the resale value is great, and the second-hand market in India is fantastic when it comes to IC engines. But when it comes to electric vehicles, because of the life cycle of these batteries, and we do not know what is going to be the life cycle of these batteries and what will be the cost of replacing these batteries, we have no idea on what is going to happen, is what Anand feels. That is why Indian consumers, especially in the middle class segment, are hesitant into adopting into EV, because they like to see what is going to happen. If I make a capital investment in a car like this and I want to change the car or want to get rid of the car 3-4 years, what will be my net loss? In the luxury segment, those people really don't care. I can understand that. But I think Anand is right when it talks about in the mid-range segment that people are cautious about moving on to this, because in India, though a car is a depreciating asset, it is still an asset for families. They still hope to gain something back. Investing 12-13 lakhs in a car, when they do want to sell it off, they're hoping to get something in return. And even if they don't sell it off, we tend to hold on to our vehicles for a very long time. I know friends of mine like Albin who have been holding on to their cars for a good 10-12 years. So will these batteries last this kind of life cycle? We have to wait and watch. And what will be the replacement cost on these? We'll have to wait and watch. So this is what the uncertainties is what I was talking about as far as investors are concerned. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was informative and entertaining as always, and I'll see you in the next one soon. Bye.
It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.